Hi traders, and welcome to the Technical Analysis Market Watch on Friday the 24th of May. So I've seen some really good action on the key indices and currencies this week, and yeah, some of the very important levels have been hit and broken. So we'll jump straight into the charts and see if we can identify any trades for today or early into next week. All right, so we'll start out here with the Aussie USD, and we can see that we saw a really big sell-off this week. Last few days in particular have been really pushing down from that 66.80. It hasn't moved a lot. It's only been about 80 pips, but it's been a very significant move given where it actually reached it. We did get a very strong move up to that 66.80, which is a very strong resistance level, and you can see we've done nothing but sell since. Today's candle is an interesting one. It did try to recoup a lot of its losses throughout the day. And if you go to a smaller time frame, if we go to a 1 hour probably in particular, you'll see that basically the majority of the last half of the session has just been a sell-off, but it did try and bounce off that level. So very interesting moves on the 1 hour, but it's been a very big significant sell-off of that 80 pips. And now we find ourselves at a very important zone actually, because we're right on the 20 moving average and at the top of the resistance here. So we know there's a reasonable chance that there's going to be support at this level because there's a lot of previous resistance here. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we can hold up. If we're trading around the, or above really the 66 cent mark anytime early next week, we can look for finding support at this level, and it is very strong support there. And then we could look at a move back up to that sort of 66.80 really in the first instance. But if we're trading below the 66 on Monday and the week starts a little bit weak, we will probably start to look for that sort of 65, 50 to 70 zone as the next target. This little middle zone here where we've got this line is the next real zone for the short. So really, if it holds above here by the end of the week, we're looking at long opportunities when we get a series of higher highs and higher lows on a smaller time frame. But if it fails to hold here and breaks through and we're trading underneath here on Monday, then we're going to be looking for a move back down to around that sort of 65, 70 area, which is the middle zone. You can see right through here the support of those little mini resistance attacks. So interesting trading on the Aussie, and hopefully you caught that short because it was giving us a lot of signs that it was going to do so. US dollar CAD, we can see here that we've got a good move off that base, and this is very similar to the Aussie. When you do find a very strong resistance base, we get that roll reversal in, and then it kicks off from that level. So good kick off. It's done really well. Yeah, today's candle has been a very strong one right through, as you can see. And now we're starting to target that 138 as the main objective here. It's got a reasonable amount of room to move. It has broken a bit of resistance through this level here. The 137 was a resistance level. You can see that it touched it through there. But once it came back, touched a 20 moving average, it was off. And that was a very good trade, really, because this is what we talk about all day, every day. If you go to a 1 hour or even a 4 hour chart, you'll see how this transpired. Once it did blast off this level, you can see that it pulled back to the 20 moving average, and up again here to the 50 moving average, and then off it went again. Every one of those gave you an opportunity to get in, and none of those would have stopped you out if you follow the rules that we always talk about. So really good trading on the CAD, and hopefully you're able to catch that move because it was a very strong support zone, and it gave us all the clues that we're talking about. When I'm talking about turning around of higher lows, that's exactly what I'm talking about, and that all happened around this level here. So really good trading on the US dollar CAD. Now, yeah, any resistance that we find around the 137.50 could be problematic, but yeah, realistically, even a short from there would only be going probably more than likely back as a target to the 20 moving average if that was the case. So pretty good trading on the CAD. All right, US dollar yen now, and look, starting to strengthen up again. This candle gave us a really good clue that we were going to probably push up higher. Once it tested the 20 moving average, tried to break through it, and then rebounded all the way back. That's a pretty reasonable rebound, as you can see. Yeah, you're talking about nearly, well, pretty close to 200 pips in a day. So a very strong rebound and trading above the 20 moving average again. Once it did that, the easy target was here at around that 156. So once you see this candle here, you know that the market is rebounding pretty hard. So really good trade. I know a few of you got this because I saw the emails, which is really good. And Yeah, a very, very good target to aim for. Look, it's gone through that target now, only just, but it has a reasonable chance it might keep attacking that one sort of 57 to maybe 158 zone, which is the previous highs here. Reasonable chance of that happening, but the first instance trade was up to here, and that was a pretty good one. I think it's a bit of a watch and see now, but any further momentum, if we see higher lows on the smaller time frames, we'd be targeting probably that 157.50 to 158 area. If it reverses from here, I wouldn't be looking at any shorting opportunities until it's well and truly closing on a daily chart below the 20 moving average on that yen. All right, over to the dollar index. Now, this one's also been a really nice move off the support level that we can see through here. And also, more importantly, the 104 level. The 104 to 104.20 has been an extraordinarily important zone for the dollar index, and it's certainly pulled it up and pushed it all the way up to that 105. I think as a high, it reached 105.12-ish. So a pretty good move. Look, the problem for it is now that it is resistance again. So the easy move was the one that we've just done, and we'll see that more clearly on the euro. Just be mindful that we are at resistance again now, and there's a 20 moving average there trying to push it down. Although we've seen a bit of a rebound, we are still on a dead set downtrend, no question about that. We've got lower high, lower lows on the daily. Okay, so very important that we are to understand that we are still in a downtrend, and it is at the 20 moving average. So it doesn't mean it's not going to break through, but just trade here with caution, because if it's going to fail, this is the area it's going to fail at. We know they've already got resistance there. It's a roll reversal zone from the support. So just be really, really careful around that area. But of course, the euro is the one we want to trade. And it's done the exact same thing. So we know that we're absolutely in an uptrend. We know we had resistance at the 108.80 to 109 area, and it's pulled back all the way to the 20 moving average, and it's failed. You can see the move that it attempted to go long today. Similar to the Aussie USD, attempted to go long but failed quite miserably and found itself all the way at the bottom, literally where it opened. So we can see here we're nearly on the 20 moving average as well, but there is a little bit of support here. If you pop a line around this level, you'll find that there is a reasonable amount of support. It's caught there and it's caught there and a few levels there, and it was resistance there. So it's important in the sense that, it's around that 108, which is a round number, of course. And it has certainly traded around here considerably over the last few months. So we've got to treat it with the care that it deserves. I think that, given that we are still in a series of higher and higher lows, it hasn't broken that trend yet. So what we'd be looking for at this level here is probably a reversal. Look for a series of higher highs and higher lows on a smaller time frame, like the 1 hour. And if you get that, you can look for trades up to the 108.50 and then potentially up to the 109 again if the strength is there. But only if we get a roll reversal and we see a series of higher highs and higher lows in the smaller time frame. If, however, the daily closes and we're trading below the moving averages and below the 108 on Monday or even later in today's trading, then we're going to be looking for moves back down to around that 107.50, which is the next target zone. Still scalping in this environment. So the 107.50 would be the one I'd be aiming for in that instance. But just trade carefully. But the daily needs to close below the 20 moving average and below the 108 in order for us to take advantage of a move like that. So just be careful. It could go both ways, and realistically, both of them, there is a reason for both moves. So I wouldn't be overly concerned either way. I'd be happy to trade both directions, but obviously the daily has to close in the key place for the short, of course, but more than likely, if we do see a rebound from here, the 108.50 to 109 level are the two levels that I'd be aiming for the long. Daily close below there, and we're looking for shorts down to the 107.50. All right, and over to the US 500, you can see here, look, it was obviously starting to get a little bit tired. We can see quite a bit of flatness, even though it was at all-time highs this week. It was only sort of grinding up there, and we saw a pretty good sell-off today. We can see that we've been, basically the support level for it here is the 50 to 50 area, really. That's that red line there. That's the previous high. The 20 moving average hasn't even caught up there. This is one of those ones where I'd be probably watching more than anything else. If we see a bit of a reversal from this level here and we see a series of higher highs and higher lows next week, then we could probably aim for that 53.50 area, which is the previous high. Pretty easy trade long if it does reverse from there. But if we do get a close below the 20 moving average, which is more important than this level here, if we get a close below the 20 moving average and that's where we're trading next week, I would be looking at moves back down to the 51 61.50 as the target zone for the S&P 500. So really good trading, and it's doing exactly what it needs to do from a technical standpoint. All right, I hope everyone's had a great week's trading. We've seen some really good moves to the levels that we were talking about last week, so hopefully you're able to catch some of that. Have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.